A sequel to the Game Boy Advance original, Rocket Slime takes everything we know and love from the Dragon Quest series and turns it on its head. Opting for a more traditional control setup, you won't find any DS gimmicks here, with all of the actions being assigned to the face buttons. While exploring, you have a basic jump, a hovering mode, and a trusty slime strike that will aid you as you go around the level, striking monsters and items, which can then be carried and placed onto carts heading back to your town. Each stage has a certain number of slimes and a huge variety of different items and enemies that can be found, also utilizing a day and night system which causes certain types of enemies to appear at different times of the day. Story-wise, there's really not that much here, but Rocket Slime excels in the area that matters most. Overall, this game offers a fun, attractive and engaging experience that will not only appeal to Dragon Quest fans, but also to those looking for something a bit different. The first Chibi Robo game released on the Nintendo GameCube managed to captivate players with its humble cast of quirky characters. The second outing, Park Patrol, makes the move to the handheld and introduces many unique ways in which to control Chibi. The premise is simple, as you are tasked with restoring a park that has been neglected. You possess two items that will facilitate this, one being a boombox and the other a squirter that will encourage the plants to grow throughout the park. Once a flower is fully grown, it can sprout seedlings by using the boombox, in which you must spin a record on the bottom screen to the tempo of the music being played. The more accurate your tempo is, the more seedlings the flower will produce. Now, Chibi Robo is a bit of a unique game, but if you're willing to give it the time, you will be more than happy with everything that it offers. Super Princess Peach is exactly what it sounds like, a side-scrolling platformer that instead stars everyone's favourite kidnappee. This time the roles have reversed, with Mario and Luigi succumbing to the might of Bowser. It is left up to the princess to save the day. With 8 worlds and 6 levels in each, there is plenty to keep you busy as you make your way through the adventure. Gameplay-wise, everything you would expect is present, with standard run and jump mechanics that are extended by the use of your umbrella, allowing you to attack and even scoop up enemies with it. A unique aspect of the game has to be the emotion feature. The bottom screen puts this to use, with the 4 emotions joy, gloom, rage and calm being displayed during gameplay. The 4 separate moods activate different abilities which will typically help solve puzzles and defeat enemies. Super Princess Peach is a fun, light-hearted adventure that's easy to pick up and play, resulting in another game that deserves a place in your library. Kirby Canvas Curse was the first game to bring the character to Nintendo's dual-screen handheld. The premise sees Kirby being turned into a ball by the evil Drosea, who has managed to turn Dreamland into a painting. With Kirby's powers diminished, it is now up to you and the magical paintbrush to help Kirby defeat Drosea. Taking a step away from the platforming roots of the series, the stylus is front and center. By drawing lines on the screen, Kirby can change direction, block attacks from enemies, and act as a path for Kirby to follow. Graphically, this game is gorgeous. All of the animations and special abilities are incredibly detailed. Each world manages to convey its own unique look and feel, which helps to keep the experience fresh as you make it through the many worlds that comprise the adventure. Hotel Dusk Room 215 is a point-and-click adventure in which you take the role of an ex-cop known as Kyle Hyde. As the player, you navigate and interact with the world by using the DS's touchscreen and must solve a huge variety of puzzles that manage to take advantage of the various features of the DS, such as the touchscreen, the microphone, and closable cover. Hotel Dusk requires you to play the game with the console on its side like a book, giving the incredible animation more space to shine. Throughout the game, you must speak and interact with the various guests and employees as you unravel the many mysteries that occupy the hotel. By asking the right questions, you will uncover the information you require. If you behave rudely or ask a wrong question, or perhaps even have something in your possession that you shouldn't, you could be kicked out of the hotel with no way to further your investigations. All in all, Hotel Dusk is one of the finest games available for the DS. If you haven't got around to playing this one, now is the perfect time. Sharing many similarities with 16-bit era side-scrolling beat-em-ups, Tokyo Beatdown is full to the brim with charm and style. You take the role of Lewis Cannon, a no-nonsense sort of guy that cares less about procedure and more about getting the job done. The over-the-top dialogue and hilarious story manages to create a friendly, fun atmosphere that will see you coming back time and time again. Gameplay-wise, it's a pretty simple affair with standard punch, kick and block buttons all in place, as well as the ability to perform combos, and also also utilize weapons found throughout the different levels you'll encounter. If you're a fan of Final Fight or the Streets of Rage series, you will feel right at home here as you take down wave after wave of criminals. Graphically, Tokyo Beatdown is stunning and truly is one of the highlights of the experience. The gameplay is divided up with cutscenes that convey the story in an engaging way, which contributes to the intoxicating atmosphere presented in the game. 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors is a visual novel adventure game that puts you in the shoes of a man named Junpei. It is built upon two main styles of play, the first being the novel that requires you to converse with many of the characters that inhabit the environment, that will sometimes present you with decisions that can greatly affect the course of the game's 6 branching storylines. The second style of play, known as Escape, sees the player in a room with no obvious way out. The action takes place from a first-person perspective and requires you to search for various items and solve puzzles that will ultimately result in your escape. Now, the story truly is one of the best aspects of this game, and to be fair, there is quite a lot of reading which could potentially throw some people off, but if you stick with it, what you have is one of the most unique and rewarding experiences available on the DS. Custom Robo Arena is a game all about tiny robots known as robos, with your goal being to mix and match different warlike parts to create the ultimate warrior in the hopes of becoming the champion of the Great Robo Cup. The action takes place from a 3D perspective in a special environment known as the Holosseum. At the start of each match, your robots are thrown into play, and depending on how they land, you'll get a random advantage or disadvantage in terms of getting the first attack. In terms of gameplay, thankfully a more traditional control method is in place that utilizes the D-pad, with attacks being assigned to the face and shoulder buttons respectively. Vital information such as parts damage, ammunition levels and hit points are shown on the bottom screen, but battles can occur at such a breakneck pace you'll have little time to deflect your eyes from the action. The real meat of the game lies in the customization options that offer an incredible amount of freedom. With up to 150 different body parts on offer, there is always something new to try. Children of Mana is a dungeon crawler that depicts the events that take place after its predecessor on the Game Boy Advance. You have the choice of 4 characters at the start of the adventure, each with their own unique attributes and skills that will aid you throughout your quest. Once you have left your hometown, you will encounter various locales, such as the lakeside caverns and abandoned castles that each possess a mana egg, the objective being to acquire this egg from the clutches of the enemy and safely return it via a magical portal. Your character has the ability to possess 4 weapons, each with their own attack power and special ability that can be combined with another to equip 2 weapons at a time. Most weapons in the game serve several purposes and are not only exclusive to battle, such as the hammer that can manipulate the environment by breaking obstacles that might block your way, and the flail that doubles as a handy grappling hook. Don't go into this game expecting an experience like Secrets of Mana, as this is an entirely different beast, but one that also gets it right. Set in modern-day Tokyo, The World Ends With You introduces us to Niku, a teenager who does not seem to get along with other people easily. Now, it's quite hard to discuss the story without spoiling it, so I'll leave that up to you if you decide to play this. Gameplay-wise, to engage your enemies, you touch a pin that you receive at the start of the game to scan the area you're in. You'll find red symbols that represent enemies, as well as other colours that also correspond to different types of foes. In battle, you use several of these pins, which utilize the DS's touchscreen, the stylus, and even the microphone. For example, if you drag the stylus over the screen, your enemies will have to face a wall of fire, touch empty space to shoot lightning, and blow into the microphone to create shockwaves. There really is a lot to learn, and since there are so many pins in the game, all with their own abilities and activation methods, you can easily customize your own fighting style against the enemies.